All right. It is Wednesday, November 13, 2019 at 4 p.m. Let's take a look at some headlines. All right. Facebook bug accesses iPhone's camera while user scrolls through news feed. Facebook says a bug that inadvertently accesses the user's iPhone camera while they're scrolling through the news feed will be fixed sometime today. The bug, which was discovered by Joshua Maddox, owner of web design firm 95 Visual, appears to be exclusive to iOS and does not affect Android devices. Max, Maddox took to Twitter to report his discovery while he posted a video that showed his camera pointing forward, was running in the background while he was scrolling through Facebook. So apparently they have now this program that apparently accesses your camera while you're using your iPhone. So if you have an iPhone, hopefully they fix this soon for Android users and Android devices that it is not affected. They don't affect Android devices. Alright, next. Venice flooding nears historic levels. The city is experiencing the highest water levels in more than 50 years. Venice is experiencing its highest tide in more than 50 years, and the historic canal city's mayor is blaming the event on climate change. More than 85% of the city was flooded on Tuesday, with a peak high tide measurement at 74 inches, according to the Venice government. It is the worst flooding the popular tourist destination has experienced since 1966, when the high tides hit 76.4 inches. Officials have called for a state emergency declaration, with flooded expected to continue on Wednesday. At least one person, an unidentified elderly man, died Tuesday while trying to run electric pumps at his home, according to the mayor's office. Alright, so Venice is flooding at historic levels. Next, mother of missing Florida 5-year-old arrested, hospitalized for apparent overdose. Hours after police announced human remains were found, Brianna Williams was absentee booked at a hospital where she is in serious condition. The mother of a 5-year-old missing girl from Jacksonville, Florida, was arrested Tuesday, just hours after police announced finding human remains. Brianna Williams, 27, is facing felony charges of child neglect and providing false information to police in the case of her missing daughter, Taylor Rose Williams. The mother was absentee booked after being hospitalized for an apparent overdose, police say. She's in serious condition at this point, Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams said on Tuesday. The sheriff said Monday that Brianna Williams was considered a person of interest in Taylor's disappearance. State Attorney Melissa Nelson acknowledged the questions still unanswered in Taylor's disappearance and said Tuesday that her department's work is just beginning. The amount of information we have is frankly staggering, and the legal implications complicated, Nelson said. This will require the systematic investigation of every piece of information, item of evidence, and lead to date. The Minneapolis Police Department in Alabama said that the team searching for Taylor Rose Williams discovered human remains in a wooded area between Linden and Demopolis. Identification of the remains is pending, according to the authorities. An Amber Alert was issued Wednesday for Taylor after her mother, Brianna Williams, told police the little girl was not in her room when she checked on her that morning. She also said she found the back door of her Jacksonville home unlocked. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams told reporters at a news conference the next day that Brianna Williams was the last person to see Taylor, and investigators had pointed out some inconsistencies in her statement when she chose to stop cooperating with us. She said that Monday that 5-year-old's daughter was considered a person of interest in the case, and that the investigation had led authorities to search for Taylor Rose in the areas surrounding Minneapolis, about 60 miles south of Tuscaloosa. Local agencies and others, including the FBI, the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, and the Alabama Attorney General's Office, were involved in the investigation. The sheriff has asked the public to report if anyone has seen Taylor and her mother traveling between Florida and Alabama over the last 2 weeks, possibly if the mother's black 2017 Honda Accord. He also asked anyone who had seen Taylor and her mother together in the last 6 months to contact authorities. The mother, a petty officer first class at the Tactical Operations Center and Naval Air Station Jacksonville, has stayed on the base since police has last spoke to her, officials said Monday. He said it is unclear when anyone other than Brianna Williams last saw Taylor alive, but did not say what led investigators to believe that Taylor may be in another state. So that's so sad that they actually found a body. I was really hoping that this child would be found, but apparently it is too late, I guess. Pray for the situation to become um, resolved when it comes to the mother, because we really need to know what happened to this poor child. All right. Next, at least 6 people die on icy roads in snowstorm. 3 other deaths connected to winter weather. At least 6 people were killed on a snowy and icy roads. A Michigan man died after being trapped under snow clearing equipment. A 50-vehicle car crash blocked Interstate 80 near Austintown, Ohio. At least 9 deaths are being connected to the November snowstorm and record low temperatures that swept across the plains and upper Midwest Monday and Tuesday and moved east on Wednesday. 6 people died in crashes on icy, snowy roads. At least 3 people died in other incidents related to the storm or the cold, according to the Associated Press. The youngest was a 13-year-old girl who died after a snowmobile crash Tuesday in Independence Township, Michigan. An 80-year-old Chicago man was found dead on the floor of his garage on Monday. Authorities said the man died of heart disease, but exposure to the cold contributed to his death. He was identified by the medical examiner's office as Curtis Matthews. A man died Tuesday when he became trapped under heavy equipment he was using to clear snow at his business near Bangor, Michigan. Snowy weather and wetter conditions on roads were blamed for multiple pileups in Ohio and at least 2 fatalities on Tuesday, a day after at least 4 people were killed and dangerous travel conditions. So pretty much the snow is affecting not only traffic, people dying from the effects of the snow. So please stay bundled up, stay warm, check on your neighbors if they're elderly or need help. Alright, next article. These cities had their most miserable start to winter, and it's not officially winter yet. It's only mid November, but many cities have shivered through impressive cold and snow. By one index, 3 U.S. cities have had a record miserable start to the season. A parable of snow and cold since the last week of October has plunged parts of the country into winter. The winter solstice is still over 5 weeks away. It's already one of the coldest and snowiest parts of the winter season, from the Rockies to the Great Lakes, and we're not halfway through November yet. According to accumulated winter season severity index from the Midwest Regional Climate Center, over 70 cities from the Great Basin and Rocky to the Plain, Midwest, and Eastern Great Lakes have seen extreme season to date of cold snow as of November 12th. And you see here the little chart says winter misery index. Extreme are the purple dots, which are all over, and record are a few, which is like 5 locations. It says this index, also known as the wintry misery index, takes into account the intensity and persistence of cold weather and the frequency and amount of snow and amount of persistence of snow on the ground. The Midwest Regional Climate Center says wind and mixed precipitation such as freezing rain are not part of the index. The index uses 5 categories from mild, moderate, average, severe, and extreme to rate the severity of winter weather in cities across the U.S. For any given location, the start date of the winter season is defined as when the first measurable snowfall, at least zero point 0.1 inches, occurs, or when the first high temperature of 32 degrees or lower is recorded. The start date is December 1st for any location that does not see either of those happen before the date. The contribution to early season cold and snow events to winter severity is very small in all but the warmest climates, said Dr. Barbara Mays Boosted, a co-creator of the index and an instructor of the National Weather Service's Warning Decision Training Division in Norman, Oklahoma. Cities categorized as having an extreme winter so far ranked in the 99th percentile of the index through November 12th. Almost every Great Lakes city is in the 99th percentile so far, including Buffalo, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Chicago. Detroit's winter misery index jumped up to 9.2 inches of snow from Veterans Day until Tuesday, set the city's all-time November snowstorm record. Louisville, Nashville, and St. Louis were among the cities further south and also to an extreme start to winter so far due to snow from Caleb and this week's cold outbreak. Nashville's Veterans Day, while only zero point 0.4 inches, was the earliest in autumn snow in 23 years. So pretty much we got an early winter and it's still going to be cold. So bundle up, people, stay warm, and God bless you guys. Hit like and subscribe for more videos, and see you guys next time. God bless.